Before I get started, if you guys like our content, please leave a like and monster mash that subscribe button to be updated and notified on all Monster Planet content. Anyway guys, let's get right into the video. Hello my fellow ghouls and gholettes, and welcome back to another episode of Monster Planet, where I talk about a monster's brief history, how it affected our modern world today, and how media portrays the monster. I'm your host Marlon Gonzalez, and today's monster is very down to earth in all manners of speaking. Anyways, let's get started. Before I continue, I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to all you fellow ghouls and gholettes out there. And I hope you celebrate this day with your moms or mother figures in your lives. Because on this day, well, we shouldn't take for granted for the women who have taken care of us. The ones who have taught us how to be kind, gentle, how to be true to who you are. Well, that's how my mom treated me, and that's how she taught me, and I'm glad that she's in my life. So, Happy Mother's Day. Also, I would like to say I am very sorry for the hiatus that I was away. I was dealing with some technical issues that I hoped I fixed, but I'm hoping that I'm able to do this as a weekly show or a bi-weekly show for you guys. Let's just hope for the best, because I love doing this. It teaches me, it teaches you, and overall, I love doing it, and it gives me something to look forward to each and every day, writing scripts, editing, so on and so forth. Anyways, on to the episode. Today's monster is the primordial mother of all mothers, and I'm talking about Mother Gaia. The goddess Gaia throughout history has gone through many different names, like Pachamama, Terra, Mother Goddess, Magna Mater, Great Mother, and many more. Around the world, Gaia has many versions and incarnations that have revolved around her making the earth and all life, as she was one of the first gods to come into existence. In Greek mythology, she was responsible for birthing time, the muses, the fates, and the oceans, just to name a few. Two of her famous stories where she played an important role was in siding with Zeus against Kronos, but then eventually coming to blows when Zeus trapped the Titans, and helping with the uprising against her husband Uranus for imprisoning her Titan children. And I'm kind of sensing a theme in these stories. Needless to say, a lot of the male gods were a bunch of gems in their own right. And that's the biggest overstatement I have ever said. So, for abilities, she possesses, well, life creation, and that entails everything. So, there's not much to it that I can say besides whatever she imagines, she can do it. And that's a lot. For how to beat her or for her weaknesses, well, unless you have godly help, I don't see any humanely way you can run or fight her. So, you better pray for some divine intervention. Unless you want a Gaia a horrific death. I'm not apologizing for that joke. I like it, and no regrets. For how affected our modern world, she's been associated with Mother Nature and other nature figures for centuries, hell, even thousands of years. Considering all of them are in a way a version of Gaia, I wouldn't have it any other way. Throughout history, historians have been trying to uncover and find any more stories that have been written about her. Although stories of her have been told, like the creation of the earth, the gods, the goddesses, and titans, her battles, her struggles, her wins, and her losses. Not much is known about her after the stories that have been told about her. But throughout the world, they have different variations of her and implement them into their pantheons and culture, which is really cool. Even though in her stories she's been treated like garbage, her contributions can't go unnoticed, and I notice when credit is due. And her credit is due for a long time, for creating such a vibrant and beautiful world that we inhabit, something that she must take credit for. For how media affected the monster, the series like God of War and other Greek hero shows portray Gaia as a force of nature, something that shouldn't be trifled with, even if you think you can take her on in a straight fight. Nonetheless, in stories, she's treated as a caregiver and a maternal figure to all, and the similarities between all nature goddesses all kind of stem from the basis of Gaia, which is interesting. The motherly love to her creations and how she shows affection to all, unless provoked otherwise, is kind of like a real mom, caring for her children and want to see for a better future, like how a real parent should. And that's something that parents, strive for, or I hope they should strive for. Well, that's all the time I had for you, ghouls and ghoulettes. And remember, be careful of what you say to Gaia. You might unearth something that should have stayed 6 feet under.